All right, so let's take a look at how Angular handles events that are generated on the browser, right? The browser can either you type on the keyboard, you can move a mouse, you can fill in fill in a form, press a button or hyperlink. So Angular allows us to assign a click event on anything, right? Just like in React, perhaps you can apply the onClick attribute on any elements, right? And then you can notify JavaScript. So similarly, Angular can use a click event. It can assign a click event to anything. In this particular case, we are assigning a click event to a button, but really can be applied to anything. And the syntax is that it's click. So the name of this is going to be it looks like an attribute equal whatnot, right? But it's really a directive, right? It's an Angular directive. Also, notice that it has a parentheses. The parentheses means that the data is flowing in one direction, right? It's going from the template, is going to the controller, right? I'm sending something to the controller, okay? And it makes sense, right? When I click, the equal sign here is the name of the function that I want to call on the controller. Right? So presumably the controller declares a function, a method that I can call it from the template. Very much like I can declare any variable in the controller, I have access to it in the template. Right? So any function that I declare on the controller, I also have access to it in the template as well. Right? And I can invoke it any which way I want. So what this will do is it will render a button. When I click on it, right, this will invoke click me, and then it'll call it. Notice that this has a parentheses, right? Unlike in React. In React, this would do an immediate call when the component gets rendered, yes, and then never again. Here, the behavior is that this does not get called, not until you click it, and then it'll invoke it. Make sense? So the syntax is slightly different. Right? In React, to achieve that behavior, you have to put it inside of a lambda. Okay? So this is already embedded inside of a lambda. Right? So you don't have to do that. What else? Right. So when you click it, then in here, it's invoked, and you can do whatever you want. We can here in the example, we are iterating over a course. We're iterating over a course. We're iterating and displaying the course of the title, and at the end of the title, we are rendering a button, a delete button next to every single course. Yes, next to every single course, we are rendering a button. We're calling it delete, and if we click, this button is going to call deleteCourse. And it's going to pass as an argument the ID of the course that we're iterating over right now, right? Which is pretty cool, right? If you have 30 courses, 30 buttons. Each button will remember to call the pass in the right value, right? So that's pretty cool, right? So if we click on it, here's the course ID. The deleteCourse receives the course ID, and we can update the courses, which was an array of courses, and whatever you do to that array of courses, if you add a new course, if you delete a course, whatever you manipulate in that course, right, will immediately be rendered on the template. Okay, this is the equivalent of doing a this.state yada yada yada, right? But there is no extra step here. There's no extra step of setting any state, of updating any state. Right? The variables are the state. Right? Whatever you do to the variables, right, they're immediately notified to the template. Right? So here I'm going to update the course so that the new courses is the old courses minus the course whose ID is the course ID that I'm trying to delete. See that? So the new courses will not have that old course in there. Make sense? All right. Or we can add a new course. We can add a button at the bottom of the screen or maybe at the top of the screen. And we're going to click and we're going to say add new course. And add course, we're going to pass in a dummy string containing a new course title for the course. And on the controller, we can implement addCourse that takes the title of that course, creates a brand new unique identifier for the course, and notice that it's creating a JSON object, with the title, the course of title. It's a new course, a new ID. Right? It's going to push it onto the array. It pushes it into the array, and that immediately tells the template that it needs to re-render. Right? The template is keeping track of that array. Right? The template is keeping track of whatever happens to that array. If that array is touched and modified in any way, right, it'll cause a re-render of that list, okay, of that template.